You are here because the outside world rejects you.
My calculations are correct. Killers do some serious shit.
Shall we play a game?
I'm a nerd. Pretty proud of it.
Learn it, know it, live it.
What up, motherfuckers? Podcast of Pain. I'm your host, the D. My motherfucking bag hurts. New shoes fucks your whole goddamn body up, and I'm suffering. I'm going early because I'm the boss around these parts, and I got shit to fucking do. So you guys can watch it later. I'm sure you guys didn't schedule to fucking sit here and be listening to my dumbass talk by myself because that one guy is not here anymore. But whatever. Today's episode is all about what's in a sequel. We all have those classic movies, things that have long-awaited sequels, stuff like Goonies 2 they're still talking about. We're getting a Beetlejuice 2 sometime this year. Ghostbusters and such. There's all kinds of these long-running series, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're shit. So I'm taking probably 6 of my classic favorite movies, and I'm going to elaborate, and I'm going to show you guys or tell you guys what a sequel for these said films look like for me. You can join. Yeah, see, I don't even know who Will is. I don't know that guy. I don't know. They say where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm on the wrong path. There is no way here at all. Anyway, let's see. I had some notes. See, I got notepad notes all over the fucking place, and I always go back to it. So I have like this diatribe about being antisocial and tired of being social that I might not get to. I might not get to it today. Maybe I'll just like dabble in it. But in order to do that, we gotta make sure we talk about our not sponsor, Mike's Harder Lemonade, because that just makes the fucking voices stop. Not stop. It makes them go away or quiet down. It makes them take a nap. That's how I want to say that. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people know that I'm not really a sociable person. I know it's odd because I do a podcast. I go to concerts and Comic Cons, and those all involve people. I work with the general public in my normal lifestyle. So it's really odd to say that I don't like people. I don't like being social. I can do it in like small doses. Even with my closest, bestest friends, half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and I'm ready. I can't do these like all week trips with people. I can't drive across country with somebody. I like my days off for me. If I have a day off, I like to just fucking sleep and veg, man. And I don't feel like I am allowed to do that anymore. And I'm kind of forcing myself into that. I just feel like people don't understand. I'm not able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Vocalize it, or words are fucking hard. I even looked up the word because I was like, this is going to go in my diatribe here. So let's see if I can find the fucking vernacular that I was reclusive, Russian. That ain't it. 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 Anyway, I feel like I can't get anybody to understand exactly what my issue is. I don't know why I don't like people. I just don't. I'm more comfortable doing things by myself and on my own. And there are a handful of people that just don't get that. I have since deleted my Facebook Messenger. I have my phone on silent 9 times out of 10, which sucks because you have kids. And if you have an emergency, you have somebody that absolutely needs to get a hold of you. They can't because the general population doesn't get, man, Darius just doesn't want to talk right now. He's being Darius. He wants to do his own thing. I made like an extensive fucking list here, trying to explain my social prowess, if you will. Um, every time I think I have like 5 fucking minutes to myself, I don't. My phone goes off. You know what I mean? And it's always bullshit. And I'm gonna get into this too. I get memes and shit all fucking day, and I'm not attacking anybody at the Escape Pod because we've had this conversation and it's funny the way we've discussed this. But I get tagged in Ninja Turtle shit all fucking day, as if it's not, as if we don't have the same Facebook news feed. Like, all right, Brady, for example, he loves sucking big dicks, right? So if I come across a meme that has anything to do with sucking a big dick and I send it to Brady, as if Brady hasn't already seen this big, fleshy, veiny bastard. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's what I mean with the Ninja Turtle shit. Like, I get I promise you, if it's on Facebook, if you saw it on Facebook, I have already seen it. Brady actually, me and him are on the gram, and he sends me shoes. He's into shoes. I don't get it, but he's into shoes. They just go on your feet, but whatever. Um, that stuff, I haven't seen any of that stuff. So Brady, keep that up, man. I like the way that they design shoes nowadays, and they get pretty intense. It's nothing I would spend an exorbitant amount of money for because, like I said, I'm not going to keep them. I'm not going to pay $200 for a pair of shoes and keep them in the box. You know what I mean? That's just not me. I have to put them on the feet and I walk and I do the thing. But yeah. So like I wanted to go through some like some popular, excuse me, recluses. You know, Finding Forrester. What's his name? William Forrester. That's the Sean Connery guy. It's not my wheelhouse in movies, but I totally get. It's like he's a famous writer, and I don't know what happens in his life, but he becomes a close-in, a shut-in, a recluse. You know what I mean? And he's a grumpy old motherfucking man. And then you have somebody like Mel Gibson in Man Without a Face. He was a recluse, right? And then who else have we got? You remember Prancer? Everybody loves Christmas movies, right? Remember that old snaggletooth nasty bitch who like hated people and didn't go out and just wanted to be left the fuck alone? That chick. That's like me. And then my favorite recluse, Jason fucking Voorhees. Now, if you guys, I know that some of you guys don't like the horror movies, and that's cool, but the whole general idea is like Jason's a bad guy, right? I don't think so. I look at it from a different point of view because 9 times out of 10, there are a few creative exceptions in there, but 9 times out of 10, all these fucking kids and grown-ups show up to Camp Crystal Lake. It's been closed. It's been abandoned. There's warning signs all over the fucking place. Keep out, danger, blah, blah, blah. And there's always some asshole. It's like, let's go check it out. You're bothering Jason, man. The motherfucker just wants to be left the fuck alone. His mom got decapitated in front of him and shit like that. You know, there's always people on his land. Just leave him the fuck alone. Like, go back to the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th with Jared Padalecki, Danielle Panabaker. This asshole looks like Tom Cruise, and it was awesome when he got killed. But like, go back and like look at it from a different point of view. Jason just wants to be left the fuck alone, and there's all these people looking for weed and drugs and a good time on his land, and it pisses him off. And I think he's in the right. I think it's like one of those not stand your ground rules, but like the right to bear arms. Like, aren't you allowed? And some I had to do the research or whatever, but some of you gun nuts might know if you have somebody on your property and they're not supposed to be there, you are legally able to shoot and fucking kill them. That's how I feel about my private time. I went all the way to the Dennis the Menace. You know, that little bastard, man. Mr. Wilson, you know, he's old, man. He likes his free time. He likes to be by himself. He likes quiet time. And you got Dennis Mitchell who's always running over his house and waking him up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, number one, where the fuck are his parents? His parents had zero respect and zero concept of disciplining that little motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like Walter Matthau told Henry Mitchell in that movie, the most recent, the one with Christopher Lloyd, you know, my father wanted to talk to me. He told me with his belt. And Henry's like, well, that's not how we handle my son. I honestly think that if Mr. Wilson like befriended Dennis, took him on a hunting trip, You know what I mean? Took him on a hunting trip, and then Dennis just never came back. Problem solved. But whatever. I also got this fucking half dead, crusty black motherfucker in my living room, living in my house. I want to make that clear. He's living in my house. I'm not living in his house. This is my house. I don't like noise. I'm like the most Mr. Wilsonist motherfucker I have ever met, and it's bad. Like, I'm the motherfucker people are usually calling the cops on, blaring their music, dog shitting in the yard, whatever, whatever. Me, I just want to be left the fuck alone, man. Do your thing, but just leave me out of it. I'm a one player solo campaign motherfucker, like Ron Swanson in The Last of Us. You know what I mean? Minus the gay shit, because I ain't going gay for nobody. I don't need anybody to have a good time. And he was doing okay until that motherfucking asshole ended up in his pit and tried to hang out with him and shit. Like, Jesus, like Mr. Bean. I'm like Mr. Bean, man. I've tried the whole social being like everybody else and trying to socialize and all that bullshit. I have way more fun by myself. I'm not saying like, I don't like people and I detest people. It's just I'm not as social as everybody wants me to be. Like everybody wants to go hang out on the weekend. Everybody wants to go do this. I just, I ain't down with it no more, man. I don't even want to go to concerts anymore. It's just there's too much socializing in that. So, and I debated about whether or not I was going to go here, but I need to fucking go ahead and put it out there because I feel like I can tell somebody, look, man, I'm not a social butterfly. I don't like texting. I don't like talking all day. And they don't hear me. They think they're exempt to that rule. And, maybe there are a couple specific people. Maybe there aren't. Whatever. But I need to make it fucking clear. If you get a fucking snippy attitude from me, there's a reason behind it, I also don't like telling people when I have a day off because then when they know I'm off, I'm almost expected to do shit. Like this motherfucker in here wants to try and run me ragged, and it's not a day off anymore. Taking them to the doctor, taking them to the store, it's always fucking something. I know that sounds like kind of selfish and shit, but then again, it's my day off. I get my ass kicked all day. There's the shit that I want and need to do. And I don't feel like he respects that of me either. So, and then you got all these fucking army buddy motherfuckers that come over here and fucking hang out and make noise and all this other kind of bullshit. I show up and they're parked in my driveway. Do you want me to move? Well, it's my fucking driveway. That I'd appreciate it. Kind of shit. You know what I mean? I have signage outside my house that says go away. You know what I mean? No people, no, what do you call it? No animals, no vehicles, no door-to-door salesmen, whatever. And I just feel like people think it's a goddamn joke. So how loud do I have to fucking get to get that point across? How much of an asshole do I have to fucking be to get people to leave me the fuck alone? You know what I mean? It's just whatever. But I think that's the gist of it, man. So hopefully you guys don't have to text me anything like an emergency or whatever like that. And whatever. I'm just ready to fucking bail. I'm not having a good time. Not enjoying my quality of life, as they say. I want my ultimate goal at this point is I got the homie, his name's Zach. He just bought a manufactured cabin, like what do you call them, the Mennonites or the Amish made cabins or whatever like that, kind of like the shit you get at Lowe's, like the clubhouses that they build for kids or whatever like that. But he put some stuff in it. He made it for him. He's got his Nintendo 64 out there. I don't know where exactly he has this piece of property. It was smart for him not to tell anybody because that's when, oh, you want to be alone? Hey, I thought I'd just come and visit you. People don't get the concept of just being left the fuck alone and like being private sometimes, having you time. And it's important. Make you time. Don't let anybody fucking drag you down and make you feel like you're not allowed to have a day to yourself, because that ain't going to be good for you. Anyway, on to the bigger and better things. Well, I guess kind of. What is with dudes that fucking sit at red lights and in parking lots and they rev their fucking engines and they burn out, they peel out like they're in fucking Fast and Furious and shit like that? Do chicks fucking respond to that? Like, can you imagine like a group of girls in like a fucking red Miata or some shit on the fucking Ave? And a guy in a fucking rice burner or some shit's in the other lane.
Oh yeah, fucking my bean. That's fucking hot. That makes me so moist.
Do chicks respond to that shit like that? You know what I mean? Parcheesi. You know what? I never have played Parcheesi, honestly. Now, I remember, I believe that was Ghostbusters. Anybody want to play Parcheesi? Okay, who brought the dog? You know, I'm the complete opposite of Lewis in that fucking movie. He was a nice guy, but goddamn, he couldn't take a hint, man. Just fuck off for a little bit. I got rehearsal. I gotta take a shower. I got a fucking date, bro. Fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Just like Jesus Christ. Um, but no. See, the difference is that's the difference between like majority of the people that I fucking interact with and like the guys from the escape pod. I can hang out with them. You know what I mean? Get some drinks. Brady's been trying to fucking get me to break down and smoke a little bit. Maybe I'll indulge. I got a lot of crazy fucking shit going on in here though, and I'm afraid weed would fucking bring that the fuck out like the wickedness, you know. So baby steps. Well, hell yeah, I think I can hang out then. I don't know if I could hang out with Hennifer and fucking Lunar Girl spies, punk ass spies. Then I'm having to sit and question Don Wandela Snooch because apparently he took this fucking voyage into the Bahamas with this bitch. That's another thing too, man. Don Wandela Snooch just came back from a fucking trip. I think he said the Bahamas, right? Beautiful fucking water. And then he did like this 360 view video. And then I'm like, oh man, that's so pretty. That's so beautiful. I'd like to go out there. And then people. Fuck. And then he came back. I'd be tempted not to come back. I would be tempted to like find a little hole or a spot on a beach, something like that, and miss my trip back. I don't know. I guess I'll have to get a fucking job here, huh? Crazy. I can hang with that. I don't give a fuck about monsoons and tropical storms and all that shit. Just like it just looks so fucking pretty out there. Coffee. Coffee? Is coffee really that good? Yeah, my goddamn daughter, Lena, is drinking coffee now. What the fuck, man? She's got what? She's just in 7th grade and she's like a hardcore coffee drinker. She goes to Starbucks and Big B's and gets her mocha lattes and her butter bears and all this pumpkin spice and all this crazy shit. I mean, I guess it's better than drinking energy drinks. And I told her, never drink an energy drink because you'll never stop. Video game news. It's not really news. It's just more of like a discussion topic. Nintendo, Super Mario Brother Wonder. I've seen that. I would hate to be like on the board with that shit. I would hate to have to be responsible for being innovative in the world of Mario, being consistent in the world of Mario, inventive, and sticking to the consistency of the fun and the stress of what makes Super Mario Brothers what it is. You know what I mean? Like it seems like I've never had, I don't want to say never, but like starting from Nintendo all the way up, I've always enjoyed their Super Mario Brother titles. So 1, 2, 3, Super Mario Brother World, Mario Brothers on the Wii. I never played the Wii U. Mario Brothers on the Switch, always a good time. Mario Kart has always been really dope. So to keep with the consistency, that legacy, I'd hate to be responsible for that. It looks pretty cool. You can turn into elephants and shit. I still say fuck Princess Toadstool. I don't even know who the princess is anymore. All I know is that bitch is way too much trouble than what she's worth. And Mario fucked around, got his brother involved in all that bullshit. I'd have just let her go, bro. You know what I mean? I'll go back to fucking Brooklyn and I'll fish a giant turd out of somebody's tank or whatever. Because that's just, yeah, I ain't about that life. That's it for that. What else? Video game wise, I've been playing Dying Light on the Nintendo Switch. It's I think it's a port. So you know how you love ports. They just came out with Red Dead Redemption, which wasn't anything new. They didn't remaster it or anything. So it's basically like they took a videotape and they put it on Blu-ray and handed it to you. So there's nothing different. I can't justify spending $50 on it. There's nothing new to it. Just give us another fucking game already. They should have made Red Dead Redemption available on the Switch from the get-go. That's a great game. That's a great game to zone out if you're on a road trip, or like me, I'm at work. I have 10-minute breaks. And I like to play and shoot some bad guys and wind down a little bit. But long overdue. They didn't do anything with it. I don't think it's worth it. Fuck it. Now I kind of want to get ripped and play Parcheesi. Yeah, I'm all fucked up. Doing some shout outs, I guess. So ATSW The Escape Pod, they just had an episode. All right, so their audio and their videos kind of pop up at different times. So I'm trying to think of the last episode that I watched. ATSW The Escape Pod. Holy Ahsoka, they were freeballing episode 161, and then they had episode 160, also a freeballing episode, which I believe did not feature Don or Brady. Brady had menstrual cramps, and Don was on his cruise. A lot of talk of penis, though. I don't know what that's about. It's whatever. And then even 159 was freeballing. So maybe I gotta watch that. I'm more of an audio guy just because I walk all day. But it's a good goddamn time. It's fucking hilarious. So check them out. The Tubes View every Wednesday, as well as on your podcasting applications. It's always a good time. Don Juan Delanucci and Lunar Girl also have Stranger Things Has Happened. I still don't understand how they have managed to escape all the talk and the rumors and the spoilers of that show. They're on their first watch through. They are on season 3, episode 6 as of right now. And there's all kinds of complications with that show because of the writer's strike, and they don't want to. It's a thing. But check it out. If you haven't seen, if you want to participate Saturday nights, no spoilers. They haven't watched it yet. I think there's now 3 of them in the podcast brotherhood. I don't know what to call it anymore. It's not Red 5 anymore. It's a different collection of people, but whatever. There's 3 of them now that have not watched it for the first time. This is their first watch through. So it blows my mind. So check them out. Keith Lehman, he does layman's terms on the Tubes of You, bringing you that mana because we all need a little life. If you're a gamer, you get that. If you're not, then I don't know what to tell you. Mana is like life. That's all I got for you. Pop My Culture. I'm way behind, man. These motherfuckers come out with like different shows all the time, and I'm trying to keep up with it all, and it sucks. It sucks. I think that's about it. I think that's all I have for. You got Used and Abused. Their podcast is pretty dope. I just started listening to them. They did an episode on Mrs. Doubtfire. That was back in August, though. But yeah, I got a lot of catching up to. I listen to a lot of fucking podcasts. A lot of sick ones, a lot of entertaining ones, a lot of horror ones. But that's about it. Anything else that I had on the tip of my tongue? Oh, we are bringing back motherfucking, there we go, ATSW family. We're going to have to get that on a t-shirt because I don't fucking know. Wait a minute. There it goes. All right. The ATSW family, there's a fucking gaggle of them crazy motherfuckers, and they're all like spies and socks and googly-eyed motherfuckers. It's a thing. God damn it. I did have another note. I do have several episodes penciled in for the following weeks. Check those out on the YouTube page if you cannot wait to learn what the topic is. Going Postal with a D, that is returning. I have a shit ton of stuff to talk about as far as that goes. Where are we at? That's not it. I can get rid of that. There's a lot of fucking notes, man. It'd probably be easier to just write it all down, but I'm on the go all the time. Going Postal with the D. All right, so this is where I discuss my job and how you as consumers and customers can help us out, help you out. Now, excuse me, my microphone is on. Okay, just making sure. I'm doing this shit by myself, and I'm all scatterbrained. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So going Postal with the D. I want to explain to all the rest of you why possibly putting your name on your mailbox is kind of imperative and important and helpful for your mail carrier if they don't already know that you live there, if they don't already know your name. I know we all get the wrong mail from time to time, and a lot of people get pissed about it. A lot of people just kind of shrug it off, they throw it away or doing whatever. But it helps us out a lot. So if there's two or more names in there, so like, let's say there's a Michael Smith and a Sarah Rogers living in the same house, right? Smith and Rogers. Or if perhaps you are taking care of a child that doesn't share the last name of the adults living there. That's also helpful. You always get notes from school, like to the parents or legal guardian of such and such, doesn't match the name. For me personally, everybody's got their own thing, but for me personally, if the names don't match what's on the box, I usually take it back. I usually end up sending it back to the sender. That's like, I consider that a bad address. I consider that a badly an old name, if you will. So if you're looking for paychecks and you're looking for EBT cards and all this other bullshit, and they're associated with names that aren't yours, it's imperative that we know that information. We're not mind readers. Some of us have hundreds and hundreds of fucking houses that we do every day. It's a bitch. And don't be cute. I know you might be prone to trying to be cute when you order stuff. Like, I had this one guy order something from Sideshow Toys, some kind of figure, some kind of collectible, and it was addressed to Tony Stark. Bro, your name ain't Tony Stark. It says on the box Williams or whatever. If I was like doing it by the book, I'd take the shit back. I'd send it back and you wouldn't get your shit. So just be mindful of that kind of shit. Be communicating with your mail carrier. Let's see. Yeah, see, so we gotta know whose names are in there. And then a lot of times you will get shit that's like a door-to-door thing or a current resident type of piece of mail, and you get aggravated. A lot of junk mail. People will get catalogs and such that they aren't ordering. Sometimes your name's just floating around in a motherfucking database, just like telemarketing. You know what I mean? You have to physically call these people and tell them that you don't want their mail, you don't want their garbage coming to your house anymore. It's just as simple as that. It's got nothing to do with us. If the name and the address match, that's usually where we have to fucking take it. And then finally, City of Jackson newsletters, man, they can suck my ass. I was delivering these motherfuckers yesterday, and they basically go to every single fucking house, and in some cases they go to all the businesses as well. Just a newsletter letting you know what's going on in the city of Jackson, like nobody gives a fuck. I've asked several people, young and older, if they get excited when they see this shit, or do they just throw them out. Most people just throw them out, unless they're on the board or something, the city council or whatever. Everybody just throws the shit away, which makes it frustrating. We are paid to deliver this shit, and it's even more frustrating to know that people just throw the shit away. It makes our day a lot longer, but it is what it is. It's part of our job. So I want to shout out to the mayor, Daniel Mahoney. Went to school with that motherfucker. Dude, props on making that fucking giant dick statue over there on fucking, was it Francis and Morel in the roundabout? You know what I mean? Props on that. Like, I'd have spent my money on different things, like maybe like mental health for our fucking veterans, feeding the hungry. But like a big ass fucking statue on that already fucking pain in the ass roundabout, dope. That's a good choice. That's a fucking good choice. And now I'm done talking politics. I think we are in the meat and the potatoes of today's episode. I'm not going to keep you guys for very long. Man, we already did National Treasures. Okay, another episode I'm going to be doing pretty soon is our favorite OG Disney movies. I had a goddamn discussion / argument / fuck you conversation with my kids about Disney movies, the old school Disney movies. That's going to be a thing. I don't want to give you guys too many fucking ideas, because I know how the sidebar came to you that rips off the ATSW, the Escape Pod, with their ideas and their fucking topics. You ain't doing that to me. You can eat dick. I'll burn a motherfucker's house down straight the fuck up. Typical stuff like favorite TV shows of all time is going to happen. I got some topics for the fucking Patreon. Yeah, if you're inclined, man, the Patreon still going strong. Thank you to the Patreons that we do have: Don Juan Dillanucci, Brian Ritson, and Queef Hurley. I did fix the episode with Queef Hurley, the wrestling episode that I just did, talking wrestling and tacos. It was luckily StreamYard saved the video, and I was able to download the whole video. It's all ass backwards. Normally I do this shit live, but for him, just our situation, our timing or whatever, I did the recording so I can pop it up. It's all good now if you guys want to check it out. Anyway, what do we get that? Spy shit. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Kelly is a spy. I'm telling you, you guys need to make a fucking shirt. So you got spy versus spy, and then paste Shanti and Luna Girl's head on them. You know what I mean? You can pick who's the white one, who's the black one. Doesn't matter. I think that's an awesome shirt. According to us, it's because they don't want you giving the fucking other show a fucking idea. You're a spy. You're a spy. They keep it. They probably have a whole schedule planned out, and they just don't want you ripping up their ideas. So it's a thing. It's whatever. I ain't doing commercials today because I don't fucking feel like it. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. Like I said, today we are like, what's a sequel look like for some of the popular movies? Again, I see it in the news feed that they are talking about doing a sequel to the Goonies. I don't really give a fuck. We don't advertise because of spy reasons. And I mean, it's got to be harder for Dragon Buddy because you're living with the enemy, right? I mean, you have to keep a certain rapport because you guys are married, and then you have your business relationship. You guys got to keep that. It's hard, man. I'm sure, like, when you go to work, she's going through your fucking drawers, going through your fucking emails, trying to get intel that she can go back and report. Be careful, man, because one day you're gonna fucking eat some goulash or some kind of soup, some borscht, and it's not gonna taste right. And then before you pass out, you're gonna see fucking Hennifer walking into the living room. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. All right, so I've seen Goonies 2. They're always talking about making a remake or a reboot or even a sequel to Back to the Future. We are getting Beetlejuice 2 at some point this year. Heard the Ghostbusters might get another one. What is that, Afterlife, that they just came out with a couple years ago? That was really good. But and I'm a classic 80s guy, so I'm always thinking like what a sequel would look like if they were to pick up the story where it left off in the 80s. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get the first one off the list. What does a sequel look like for Beetlejuice for you guys? What do you guys expect out of this Jenna Ortega, Winona Ryder sequel? I think I've already heard that the Maitlands are not going to be involved because they are not able to be de-aged. And I think everybody's afraid that Alec Baldwin might discharge a fucking firearm in the direction. So that's why he's not involved. I get it. What's going to happen in Beetlejuice 2? I haven't heard anything. I've seen nothing but bullshit fucking fan-made trailers, which aggravates the fucking piss out of me. You see it scrolling, and then you get some private time so you can, be enthralled. It's 3 minutes. It looks really good, and it's a bunch of fucking clips from previous projects like Schitt's Creek and Stranger Things and all that other bullshit. Pisses me off. So I'm gonna guess that there's some kind of death. Obviously, Lydia and her daughter. I want to say maybe they come back to Winter River. I'm very curious what's going on with Dietz. Goddamn, Charles Dietz. I'm very curious how they're gonna talk about that. He's in jail for they're not gonna say it. They're not gonna say artistic differences. There we go. Delia like those creepy ass statues. He like creepy little kid pornographic material. I don't know. Whatever. Let's do it. Otho said, fuck that. I ain't coming back. Bullshit. But somehow Beetlejuice is going to come back. I kind of wonder what he's been up to this whole time after being taken out by the sandworm. and waiting in purgatory for all this time. It'll be kind of interesting to see what Michael Keaton does. He was way younger when that fucking movie came out. So, whatever. Another classic, since we're talking about Winona Ryder, Heathers. I think this was more of a '90s movie, but you guys remember Heathers? This is one of her feats after Beetlejuice. It was probably for me one of the more popular ones. Christian Slater, and it was about the mean girls of school, the clickiness and suicide and all that craziness. They did try and reboot as a TV series, and it was garbage. I think the main Heather, yes. See? Lick it up, baby. Lick it up. I could quote that fucking movie all day. Greetings and salutations. I always had the theory that Winona Ryder's character, Veronica Sawyer, became a writer of some sort. She had a daughter, and maybe the daughter went through the same mean girl bullshit. Or maybe one day, out of the fucking blue, she gets a note that says, recognize the handwriting. And she starts fucking going back and like, oh shit, JD's not really dead, or somebody had some kind of something else. There's always a side character, there's always some kind of tie-in, and it starts all over again. I don't know how that would work nowadays. Like I said, they tried to redo that show, and from what I saw, it was fucking garbage. Like all the mean girls were gay guys, which is fine, but it just they tried too hard to make it more modern instead of keeping with. I mean, you have cliques nowadays, man. Keeping the same spirit as the original movie, and I don't know. I wasn't. It was on one of those fucked up channels that nobody fucking has either. I already pay enough for Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and all this garbage. I don't need one of those ass backwards channels. Speaking of high school, there are two other ones I had on my list. This is really going to be a short episode, but fuck it. We'll talk about it. One of my favorites was 16 Candles, one of the Brat Pack movies with, I see her face, Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall. There we go. Do people make such a big deal out of their 16th birthdays anymore? And then more to the point, I know that they were also talking about, or maybe they already have it out, a sequel or a new version of the movie House Party. Do people have house parties anymore? Is that a fucking thing? Like everybody's on the internet, everybody's texting. What would be the conflict? You know what I mean? Do parents still beat their kids' ass for going out and staying out past curfew? Kids still have a curfew? How would that look? This is definitely, I agree. Coming of age movies just aren't a thing anymore. And that's another thing I wanted to speak on. Like the coming of age movies I grew up with were Porky's, Losing It, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I feel like I'm missing one. I already said Porky's, but then you go into the American Pie, and that goes into Superbad, and they just disappear after that. It's sad. It's fucking sad. Okay. So yeah. All right. So there was a movie that I had on the tip of my tongue. It was something similar to this. Because the 80s was mostly about us breaking free of all the boomers. Something that we could do, a modern version of a movie I watched back in the day that we could do now. God damn it, it's going to piss me off because it's going to hit me as soon as I hit end. Oh, man, that's going to piss me off. All right, anyway. So, yeah, I guess we're done with the whole high school thing, but not before I discuss another high school classic, The Breakfast Club. This was the one that really stuck out to me as far as what kind of helped me come to this topic. What would detention look like now? Because back in the 80s, you had these 5 specific groups, these 5 specific social group kids. And now you'd have like 20 or 30 kids in detention. if detention's a thing anymore. What would that look like? So to go a little deeper as far as like a premise, I would almost assume that it's a high school reunion of some sort. Uh, maybe Judd Nelson's the principal, or maybe he's turned his life around and he's really respectable and shit now. And he crosses paths. He has to cross paths with Vernon, who the actor has passed away, long passed away, so that wouldn't work out. But like reminisce a little bit about 30, 40 years ago. Are him and Molly Ringwald still together? Is Allison still fucking shut in, or is she still the pretty girl? What became of Andrew? Did Brian eventually fucking kill himself? You know what I mean? Those things pop out. Maybe Carl, the janitor, is now the principal. You know, something that it would tie in. It would have all those Easter eggs in it, but it wouldn't be too much. You know, what would the conflict? Maybe there we go. Maybe the majority of this cast 40 years down the road or whatever, they have kids of their own. They have kids of their own, right? They have kids of their own that go to the school and they have to go through the same social. I feel like if that happened, it would be like a straight to Netflix type of bullshit movie. So I kind of feel like don't fuck up my shit. Don't fuck up my shit with those dumb ideas. Sidebar. Have any of you guys seen the new Ninja Turtle movies, the Mutant Mayhem? It was really good. I thought it was really good. And I think at this point, if you haven't seen it, if you really wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now. So spoilers are off the table. I'm not worried about spoiling it. Unless anybody in the chat says no. Unless you guys still want to wait. I'll give you to the time that I finish this lemonade. Okay. Well, Dragon Buddy has not seen it yet. I will. There was one little tidbit that I will spoil about it, and then I'll let you guys enjoy it on your own. The only thing that I did not care for about this movie was that the Ninja Turtles were no longer ninjas. At the end, they all kind of come together and they blend in. They go to high school, not disguised, just as the Ninja Turtles. So that's the only thing that I disliked. I like the fact that they have so many characters in this. I like where all the characters fall. I like the fact that Shredder is not automatically the lead villain. He's not even really spoken of yet. They could go any number of directions. I still feel that I don't need another Ninja Turtle movie. I would like to see it go in the same direction, the direction of Mandalorian. I would like to see it go in a direction of Daredevil on Netflix. I want a long, ongoing series. That way, you don't have to rush all your ideas into a 2-hour-long movie. Like the last Michael Bay one, I don't even think it made 2 hours. I think it was 1 hour and 45. And they introduced several brand new characters. No time for a backstory. No time to really build the story. They just kind of threw it at you. I really want to see that happen. I want to see a series happen on Netflix or Disney or whatever. I will spend the money and get some ass backwards fucking streaming service if they do it right. But that's just my 2 cents. It was good. What would a sequel look like if they made Ferris Bueller? Ferris Bueller. Now, could you make a sequel to Ferris Bueller? It was all about his day off. It had been mentioned to me. What about a day on? Ferris Bueller's Day On. And then I came up with this really wicked idea, right? So, excuse me. Got the burps. So how about this? Maybe Ferris, he's like the world renowned, he's like a superhero in his town, right? Everybody loves Ferris Bueller. But maybe Ferris kills a girl and her mom in a head-on collision and is on trial. If you know, you know. I'm such a dick and I don't care. Back to the Future. They've always been talking about doing Back to the Future. What would Back to the Future look like nowadays? I don't want to see them do a remake. It's not going to hold up. Do we leave it alone? It was a pretty with exception, it was a pretty perfect trilogy. Okay. Day off of work. All right. Ooh. Man, but is that a thing? Is that, man, that's what I mean though. Is that a big deal? Taking off a day at work? I like that meme. It was oh man, she's a dude now. God damn, who's Juno? Who played Juno? Jesus Christ. This is why I need a fucking Will. Well, Will wouldn't know either. I see your fucking face. See his face. I want to think his name's Ethan now. Ethan Page. Ellen Page. There we go. So there's that meme that you always see where Ellen Page is in the fucking driver's seat of a car, passing by somebody else, looking at her like, and she's just like, I can see that being like, yeah, it's running into your boss after playing hooky, which I might do tomorrow because my back's all fucked up. But yeah, I can see something like that too. I like my idea where Ferris Bueller kills a girl in a fucking head-on collision, her and her mom, because he went on the wrong side of the highway. Which weird, man. That's what happened to Matthew Broderick. Man, there's more holes in this fucking movie than anything. You know, I never really tore apart Back to the Future 3, but Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 1 just like always set me off. And I'm not trying to be a hater, fucking Brady, calm down, relax. I'm just saying, if they were to make a sequel, what would it consist of? Is Doc Brown still around? Is Marty still a fucking slacker? Like, what would bring this cast of characters back together? I would kind of like to see fucking Doc and Marty cross paths with Sarah Connor and John Connor in the Terminator. You know what I mean? Cameron is probably some CEO and doesn't want to go with Ferris. A telecommunications supervisor. What the fucking hell? So what does that mean? He's a fucking cable guy? Yeah, I'm kind of curious where all that fucking happens too. Like, is Cameron still in the fold? And then what is there? Simone, is she still with Ferris, or she get tired of his bullshit? You know, was he trying to go out and have a night with the boys, and that was his night out? Ferris Bueller's night out. There we go. We can write this shit all fucking day. Hell yeah. And then, God, he has kids. He has fucking kids. Man, you know what I'm saying? The cable guy's boss. Man, I don't know if he's got it in him. Call me sir. God damn it. And then I think I had one more that really stuck out, and that was Goonies. I think this was one of the movies that really stuck out, and it really made me spend a lot of time thinking about what the characters would look like 40 years later, what the story would be to bring them all back together again. And the only thing I can think of is, all right, Mikey has taken over for his father, who was the big dog at the museum. He was like the what do you call it, the curator or whatever like that, took care of all the now Dragon Buddy says he's Cameron. Cameron's dating a spy. I got you. I'm with it. I am so with it. Okay. So Mike Walsh is a curator at the museum or wherever it was his father worked. He's such a homebody. He loves his town. He takes pride in his town. And, you know, obviously the kids became famous after the whole One-Eyed Willie thing. He wants to make sure that the One-Eyed Willie exhibit, that the story is preserved and told and it carries on, right? Fuck what everybody else is doing. But there's going to be some kind of event. I don't want to say like it, where, oh, hey, you guys, remember we had that pact that if something happened, we'd all come back here? But something draws them all back. It has to do with One-Eyed Willie. Maybe there's something that they didn't, which doesn't. This completely fucks up my whole plan, because after all this time, now he finds another plot or another piece to the puzzle that they didn't discover in the last 30 fucking years. But it all brings them back together. And of course, the Fratelli's brothers end up breaking out or getting released from jail, and it's the same cat and mouse game all over again. Sloth is. I'd like to see what the fuck life is like with Sloth. You know, number one, how did he convince his parents? How did Chunk convince his parents to bring home this mammoth of a man, this fucking this chud, home with him and live? Like, what's that look like? You know what I mean? 2-3 bedroom house. You got Edie, who's a little girl, the younger sister, all kinds of sibling rivalry. Does Sloth walk him to school from now on? Does he do chores around the house? Is he like Ezekiel, or is that what Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Ernie Hudson. Is that the caregiver, the mentally challenged caregiver? I want to think his name's Ezekiel, but I don't think that's it. Anyway, is that what Sloth is doing? You can easily say that the parents, that the Walsh family, both actors have been deceased for a while, and Ramsey's been deceased for a while. Sloth, John Matusak, he's been passed away for all this time now. So you have the core group, all the kids are still around. Shockingly, Corey Feldman, he's an art dealer, or he's a what do you call it? Interpretive dance coach or something. Make it like realistic to who they really are, so we don't even bat an eye. But yeah, that's the main thing that I want to hold on to for that part of the story. Mike's got to be the curator in Astoria to keep the legacy of Blind Willie going, and then something brings them all back. Maybe not even all of them. Like, you know what, Mikey, man, I ain't going on your crazy Goonie adventures. I got law shit to do. You know, maybe Data sticks around. Maybe he's like not a handyman. Maybe he's an engineer. Maybe he really fucking came through and like Tim the Toolman Taylor, you know, because his ideas didn't really work out all that well. Pitches a pair, slick shoes. I got a good idea, you guys. Slick shoes. Anybody else have any ideas? Any movies you guys have thought about, like what a sequel would look like for some of the long term? Like, let's. There we go. That's what I wanted to. That was the movie that I held to. Something that could be made today that would make so much fucking sense. And I believe it was Dragon Buddy and Lunar Girl that spoke about it. They went and saw the anniversary in theaters. John Carpenter's They Live, even though John Carpenter's name was not on it. Odd. But think about like all the propaganda that they had, you know, do not conform to authority, obey, do not question authority, consume, procreate. And it's all like these, and everybody's fucking glued to their fucking phones nowadays. Their phones and their computers and social media and all that shit. That would be a perfect fucking movie to make nowadays. And make Key and Peele fucking make it. So it's got that really fucking weird, make you think kind of edge on it. That would be fucking dope. That would be fucking dope. All right, I think I wasted enough time on this episode. I'm going to go ahead and go through the schedule since you guys are sitting here and you guys have been so patient. Thank you for joining. I know Lunar Girl, Dragon Buddy. I see the escape pod, but I don't know which one of you spy motherfuckers has the key to the chat right now. So I'm just going to say ATSW, the escape pod, you are in the chat. And it pisses me off that it doesn't show like who's on here. So I have some like random ass dude getting ready to send me fucking Ethiopian porn links or some shit like that. For all I know. All right. So my channel, and we have as follows. So today is What's a Sequel Look Like? We have Return of the Living Dead coming up next. We have fighting video games. Episode 46 and 47 are TV moms and TV dads. And then I believe that is it. Monster Squad's in there. So, okay, episode 43 next week is going to be the Monster Squad. I enjoyed the fuck out of the episode that the Escape Pod did. If you are a fan of that movie, go and check them out in the archives. ATSW, the Escape Pod. It's done since I see LG in her own tag. Okay, well, you never know. You never know. It's always Snooch. No, because there was another show. There was another fucking show where I think the comment was, I eat ass with peanut butter and crackers. That doesn't sound like Don. That sounds like Brady. So, whatever. Anyway, that's the next episode. I'm still tinkering around with things in the. I'm not gonna call it a studio. It's a fucking room where I have my podcast. That's all. I have desks and toys and all kinds of shit. It's not a fucking studio. Let's be real here. So today is Sunday, the 17th of September. I appreciate you guys joining in and hanging out with me, listening to my banter for a little bit. Catch you guys next time. Make sure to check out all the fellow homies, the Minor Nirvana Toys and Collectibles. Make sure you check out Chimera Illustration and Design if you guys are in the market for a new banner, a new logo, new something artistic. That motherfucker can do you nothing but good. ATSW The Escape Pod, Wednesdays on the Tubes of You. There's also Stranger Things Has Happened on Saturdays. I think it's every other Saturday. You're going to have to find the fucking link for that. There's a plethora of ATSW family, Pop My Culture, Layman's Terms, Adventures in Locksmithing. They're all over the fucking place. Sidebar Cantina. Man, go check them out. There's awesome pods out there, awesome people, awesome friends. And, oh, yeah, that was you. You get hungry. Now, do you prefer saltines or Ritz? Triscuits. I love me some Triscuits, but it's like eating wicker furniture. And I don't think those go very well with peanut butter. But it is what it is. So thanks, friends, for joining in on this wacky-ass episode. I was able to make it about an hour. So with that, we got to make sure we go out. We got to make sure we go out with the quickness, with the outro, because that's been a while. This is going to play. There we go. I appreciate every one of you that have tuned in and that continue to share and like and respond and participate. It's been fun. Fuck you, Will. LG says she loves you. Well, we love Lunar Girl too, even though she's a fucking spy. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And I will see you guys next week on the podcast.